In 1959, 9 experienced hikers entered one of the most remote mountain ranges on Earth. They were young, skilled, and ready for adventure. The expedition was led by a 23-year-old engineering student. His name was Igor Dyatlov. Their mission was to cross the frozen wilderness. It was a difficult journey few people had ever attempted. But what happened next would shock the world, because none of the hikers would ever return. Their story would become one of the greatest mysteries in history, and the mountains still hide the truth. The journey began in January 1959. The team traveled deep into the wilderness. They carried heavy gear for the long expedition. The journey ahead would last weeks. Temperatures dropped far below freezing. But the hikers were experienced. They had trained for difficult conditions. Every day they moved deeper into the mountains. At night they rested beside small fires. Their cameras captured moments of joy. The mountains grew colder and more dangerous. Snowstorms slowed their progress. One member became ill and turned back. That decision likely saved his life. The remaining 9 continued forward. They were determined to reach their goal. Their destination was a remote mountain pass. Local tribes called the Mountain of the Dead. At the time, the hikers didn't think much of the name. On February 1st, the group reached the mountain slope. They pitched their tent on the exposed slope. The forest below offered shelter, but the team chose to camp higher. As night approached, the temperature dropped. The wind grew stronger. Inside the tent, the hikers prepared for sleep. They removed their boots and heavy gear. Outside, the storm continued to grow, and something terrifying was about to happen. Something suddenly forced the hikers to leave their tent, and they left in a way that made no sense. The tent was slashed open from the inside. The hikers ran out into the freezing darkness. They didn't even stop to put on their boots. Temperatures outside were below -30 degrees. In those conditions, survival without gear was nearly impossible. So what could have frightened them that badly? That question remains unanswered. But the mystery was only beginning. When the hikers failed to return, a search operation began. Friends and family grew worried. Days passed with no sign of the group. Eventually, rescue teams reached the campsite. What they found was disturbing. The tent had been cut open from the inside. All the hikers' belongings were still inside. It looked as if they had fled suddenly. Footprints led away from the tent, and the trail headed downhill. Nearly a mile away, searchers made a discovery. 2 bodies were found beneath a cedar tree. They had tried to build a fire, but it wasn't enough to save them. The hikers were barely dressed. Some were even barefoot. It was a desperate attempt to survive, but more discoveries were coming, and each one raised more questions. The mystery was growing darker. 3 more bodies were discovered between the tree and the tent. They appeared to be trying to return to the campsite, but they never made it. Their journey ended in the freezing wilderness, yet 4 hikers were still missing. The search continued for months. The snow kept many secrets hidden. Finally, in spring, the final 4 hikers were discovered, and their injuries shocked investigators. Some victims had severe internal injuries, but there were almost no external wounds. One hiker had a fractured skull. Another had broken ribs. The injuries looked like the result of extreme force, yet there was no sign of a struggle. Investigators began forming theories. Some blamed a powerful avalanche. Others believed military experiments were involved. There were even rumors of something unknown. The Soviet government launched an official investigation. Military personnel joined the search. Helicopters scanned the frozen landscape. Investigators carefully studied the campsite. Every detail was documented. But the clues made little sense. Why had the hikers fled into the night, and what had frightened them so badly? No clear answers were found. The mystery only deepened. Some victims showed unusual injuries. The force behind those injuries was immense, yet the surrounding area showed no signs of a struggle. One victim was missing a tongue. Another had severe chest trauma. The injuries puzzled investigators. Some clothing showed traces of radiation. That discovery sparked new theories. Was the military involved? Or had the hikers witnessed something secret? One theory blamed a powerful avalanche, but the evidence didn't fully support it. Another theory involved military weapons tests. Witnesses reported strange lights in the sky. Some believed secret experiments were responsible. Others blamed powerful natural forces. One theory involved infrasound. Low-frequency sound waves can cause panic, but even that explanation remains debated. No single theory explains everything. Decades later, scientists returned to the mountains. New technology offered fresh insights. Computer simulations tested the avalanche theory. Some results suggested a rare type of avalanche, but questions still remain. The Dyatlov Pass case is still studied today. New theories continue to emerge, but none have solved the puzzle completely. The mountains remain silent, and the mystery endures. More than 60 years have passed, but the story still captures the world's imagination. Thousands have tried to solve it, yet the truth remains hidden. The final moments of the hikers remain unknown. Perhaps nature played a cruel role. Perhaps something stranger occurred. Or perhaps the full story will never be known. The mountains still keep their secrets, and the legend continues.